we've had this dream for a long time.
You boys want to come?
A dream that one day we could peel away from the run-of-the-mill busy life, slow down, and own a good stretch of dirt to look out over, watch the sunrise and sunsets, and let our kids run free, and start a farm. And though that dream is still a good ways away, we can start with what we do have. Which is why last summer we started planning out how to utilize the space we do have to start small and simple. We made plans, we scratched them out, thought of new ones over and over again of what this backyard garden or urban backyard homestead could look like. And it boiled down to just starting with a few simple raised garden beds. You see, we believe in self-reliance, but that takes time. So this is the beginning of taking small steps toward being more self-reliant. Another reason we want to do this is our family eats lots of fruits and vegetables, so one of the other goals was having more control over the quality of food by growing it ourselves. And really, who can deny the joy that comes with growing our own food? There's a very deep satisfaction in growing anything, whether it's grass, trees, or fruits and veggies on your own property. I think the best part of all of this, though, is simply being outside with the family, working together, and trying something new. To build our raised beds, we weren't going for Pinterest perfect or some fancy Instagram post. Our aim was to make it the best we could while making it as inexpensive as possible. After a bit of research and hunting around for materials, the best way we found to do this was by using good old-fashioned cedar fence posts. Cedar because it was not only the most affordable option, but because of the rot and pest-resistant qualities that it has. Other options just seemed to be more costly and not able to stand up to the conditions. We were aiming to have beds that were about 10 to 12 inches deep, so it gives the roots room to stretch. And this is by no means a rule or a have to, so if you want something bigger, go for it. To build one bed, we use 6 cedar fence posts and about 6 cedar 2x4 rough rails for support of those beds, but more on that later. First step was to trim off the tops of the cedar pickets so that it was more clean and squared off. We used 2 full-length boards for the long sides and 1 board cut in half for the short sides, and then stacked them to get the depth that we wanted. To make sure we closed up the gap as much as possible, I took some wood clamps to bring the boards together, then screwed in my 2x4 brace in the middle and on the ends. For the inside of the beds, we cut 2x4 cedar rough rails into roughly 10-inch sections to create braces for not only the middle, but the middle of the short ends as well. This was to make sure that all of the sides were as sturdy as possible when we go to add in the soil later. After all of that, we simply pop the short ends onto the long ends, securing them with screws, and you're basically done. Nope, but be careful, don't get a splinter.
Here, you know what? Here's my gloves.
I love watching you work.
We ended up with beds that were roughly 3 feet by 6 feet with a depth of about 12 inches. We moved them into place, leaving some space in between the beds to work in and around. Then dress the space up with some mulch. And, well, now I guess I have to actually plant some stuff in these boxes. And this is just one step closer to accomplishing our dream.